Okay, so this is a demonstration of Soundslides and how to put together an audio slideshow. So just to start off, I have my JPEG images here, and I have my MP3 file here. So I have everything I need to go ahead and start the project. I launch Soundslides, and as you can see, there's the ability to create a new project or load a project that you're working on. I'm going to click New. And here's really important because it automatically generates a folder for you to save your project into, and it's important to have that folder because that's the folder you're going to want to zip up and submit to Blackboard when you're finished with it. So I'm just going to call this Supernatural Slideshow. Click Save. Now I can begin building my audio slideshow. You can change the output sizes, but I leave it at standard. It gives you about a 600 by 400 window and that's typical of most images that we're going to be using. So for here, I'll click JPEG, and I'll find my folder that contains all of my JPEG files. Slideshow images. So I select the folder that has my JPEGs and I click OK, and it will process the images one by one. And the more web-friendly you've created your images, the faster this process will go. So if you go into Photoshop and optimize your photos for the web by reducing the file size, Soundslides Plus will work quicker with them because obviously the file sizes are smaller. Okay, so that process is done. Now I want to click on the SND button, which stands for sound, and grab my MP3 folder or file. So this is that one. Click open, and it will process the MP3 and then give us our interface to where we can begin building our slideshow. Under Project Info, here we have a series of tabs. And just to give a quick overview of the interface, this is the images that we can click and move around. This will show you the window where the current slide is on. This is the timeline for the audio. So this is 30 seconds, a minute, and these are where the images show up on the timeline. So first I'll go to Project Info and give it a headline. And under credits, this is where I would put my name because I'm the creator of the Soundslide project. And under, the first thing I want to do is perhaps begin with a iconic image to put a title on. So I'm going to grab this one of Twilight because the author sort of ends her discussion with the current state of affairs talking about Twilight. And I'm going to go here to audio and lower thirds to add a title at the beginning. And then maybe I want to change this to 4 seconds rather than 6. And as you can see, there's my title. It goes away once 4 seconds have elapsed. I'm going to go back to slides. And basically what you do is you move the images to where the specific words match up in your audio track. So I'm going to hit play here and just listen for the words that the author uses.
Obviously, monsters, werewolves, vampires.
So monsters, werewolves, and vampires show up first. I'm going to move this one over, go back here a little bit, and give us some monsters, some werewolves. Where's my werewolf? There's my werewolf. Monsters, werewolves, vampires. And I'm going to go down here to the bottom to kind of move, since they're brought up really quickly. They don't need to be on our timeline very long at all. There. And so I'll start it again and just listen to the audio and see if my images are matching.
Obviously, monsters, werewolves, vampires, all of those creatures were the villains for 250 years in the classic Gothic horror and supernatural modes. But around about 1976, when
So here she begins talking
Anne
about
Rice came out with Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire. So now I'm going to move this back a little and bring in my Interview with the Vampire images, probably starting with this one here, the poster. Then we have a few others that we can use. Oops, that's not the right one. There we go. And then I go back here and make some adjustments so that these don't show up very long. And hit play and just check to see if I'm hitting my points right.
1976, when Anne Rice came out with Interview with the Vampire, this shift began, and the sort of big thing that Rice did was putting the vampire story.
Maybe I want to move this a bit out so when she says vampire here, it'll transition.
Story into the first person. Then you get to Buffy, the vampire slayer.
And then so obviously the process is repeated, so we pick our Buffy the Vampire Slayer images to go next. And that's basically how you build the audio, matching up the words to the images that are showing up and making sure that the images are on the timeline correctly. When you're finished, you go ahead and hit export, and it makes the slideshow. And as you can see here, it gives you tons of different images, or files, sorry, that you'll need to turn in. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. If I go back to my slideshow project, this is the folder that I created initially, and I can just zip this up when I'm ready to turn it in. But as you can see, there are tons of files that are associated with the project. So when I do select this SWF file, it will show me the finished product if I hit play.
Obviously, monsters, werewolves, vampires, all of those creatures were the villains for 250 years.
Okay, but obviously I don't need just this file to turn in. I'd need to turn in everything. And so I would go back, create a new compressed folder, and then move this folder into that one. And sure enough, there it is, and then I would be done. So that was a demonstration of the slideshow program. It's fairly simple to use once you get the hang of it.